It was not that long ago that I brought you some really good news about gold, and it had to do with how investors viewed this metal. Well, in this video, I'm going to bring you even better news. I hope you're prepared as we explore. The dragon. The dragon in Western cultures seems to identify with evil or the devil. However, in Eastern cultures, it is a symbol of good luck, protection, fortune, and fertility. And I tell you what, more and more people are starting to see gold as a metal of good fortune. And that's what this video is about. And this is why you see a display of dragons here before you. So let's get into this video, and we're going to talk a little bit about a new poll that was cast from Business Insider that talks about what Americans and how they view gold in terms of other asset classes out there. Now, in my prior video, the people that were interested in putting their money where their mouth is, if things got really bad, they would see gold as the ultimate safe haven. Now, for most of us, if you're a savvy investor, you probably understand about hedges, things to protect yourself in these times of trouble. And many people feel we are headed for times of trouble, if not a full-on recession coming soon. And it could be a deep and wide recession. No one really fully knows the scope of how this thing is going to play out, but we are headed for some hard times one way or the other. In fact, it wasn't that long ago that we got out of a technical recession. But nonetheless, that is where most of the investors are thinking about where they're going to put their money. In spite of all of the other asset classes and all the other avenues and choices, there are more choices now in the investing world than ever before. One of the most recent ones would be Bitcoin, a decentralized cryptocurrency that has a limited number of 21,000 or 21 million rather. And you think about that, and then you think about all of the other cryptocurrencies that are out there as well. Many people think it's a good idea to get into cryptocurrencies too. But when it's all said and done, investors chose gold. So I'm going to tell you about this next survey that was given out from Gallup that talks about something that's even better and more substantial, I think, than even what investors are saying. If you enjoy videos like this, I hope you will consider subscribing to the channel, pressing that thumbs up button, sharing and commenting on this video, because I think this is a message that's important to get out there. And stay tuned, because I'm going to be unboxing another gold coin, and I think you'll be quite excited to see what this is. It's pretty fascinating. I'm excited to see what's in it as well, so stay tuned for that. This is from Business Insider. More Americans view gold as a better long-term investment than stocks for the first time since 2013, according to a recent survey from Gallup. That view of the precious metal is actually a good sign for the stock market, according to Carson Group's chief equity strategist Ryan Detrick, who highlighted the usually in the crowd and the bearish on stocks. It pays to be bullish. One reason to expect higher equity prices is that the masses keep betting on lower prices. This matters as the crowd is rarely looking back at history, according to a recent note. According to the survey, 26% of Americans view gold as the best long-term investment. In other words, a hedge, something to hang on to and not just trade willy-nilly, which is near double from its level of 15% in 2022. Meanwhile, Americans that view stocks as the best long-term investment fell to 18% this year, from 25% last year, representing its lowest level since 2011. We know what happened in 2011, don't we? In fact, that's why those numbers were probably so high in 2013, based off of what happened in 2011. Yeah, we saw gold go up fairly dramatically, and many people feel that gold will climb again dramatically. In fact, it already really has at this point. It's just now mainstream media and other sources are looking at it and seeing that that's what's happening, and starting the buzz about gold is strong. And the thing is this is all stuff that you and I, or most in this community, already knew for many, many years. Pretty remarkable. Despite the negative view from American investors, there are plenty of reasons why investors should stay bullish on the stock market, according to Detrick. And this is the other hand. This is kind of the mainstream media kind of coming back and say, hey, all this talk about gold, hey, there's still some good stuff about stocks. Yeah, well, maybe so. There's some risk and there's some potential there as well. I'm not discounting that, but when it's all said and done, the best long-term, quote, investment, or the best stable store of wealth, is by no means anything else but gold. It has lasted much longer than the stock market's ever been around. It's survived currencies, it's survived nation states, epochs, generations, and even religious movements. For one, here, this is they're saying about the stock market. The Federal Reserve is likely to on the verge of wrapping up its rate hike campaign as inflation continues to cool. And they're saying that that's one reason to stay bullish on the stock market. But I tell you what, it's another reason why to get into gold, because if they pause, likely gold's going to probably continue to rise. That's my own feelings on this. This is not in the article. I think this is one of those things, hey, watch out, people. Stop having such a positive view on gold. Let's go back to stocks. Detrick says, the bottom line is stocks tend to do quite well after the last Fed rate hike, higher a year later, 8 out of 10 times, and up a very impressive 14.3% on average. But if you look at all of the what gold has done, especially in the last 2 years here, it's hard to beat that, that's for sure. And the economic outlook is starting to brighten based off the recent New York Fed survey of business leaders, which showed that expectations for business activity in the next 6 months are at the highest level since September 2022. And that is something actually that can be corroborated with a recent interview that I did from Lior Gans, who has listened to a lot of these calls that these business leaders and these corporations have, saying kind of the same thing. But my question is what businesses are they? We're hearing about big layoffs from big tech and some even manufacturing and other industries. So there's a little bit of data that can maybe be shown to maybe go against this narrative that we may be seeing a downturn. But the economic outlook is starting to brighten based off of this survey, and he says he finds it worthless as the survey focuses on the New York and New Jersey area, in other words, the heart of the banking world. If most of these business leaders see better times coming, that is something the bulls should embrace, Detrick said. With the outlook starting to improve for the economy, investors would be better served by investing in stocks rather than gold. But that's not how investors are positioned. And a negative sentiment is the fuel that could ultimately drive the stock market higher from here. So it's like one of those things where, yeah, this piece, and you can tell it's mainstream media, is saying, hey, we're seeing this now push towards gold, of what more Americans are viewing it. But regardless, they want you to get out of gold and look for these other investment vehicles. But I tell you what, I think Americans are wising up and not listening to what the mainstream media is saying and what some of these financial advisors are saying, because in the long term, if you want a stable store of value, something ultimately safe, and safety is key here, safe, secure, there's nothing better than gold. In fact, one of the drawbacks that people say about gold is it doesn't pay dividends. It doesn't react. And that's one of the best things about it. As a precious metal, physically, it doesn't react either. All the coins that you see on the display here are made of 24 karat, 3 nines and 4 nines gold. That means that it is the purest gold out there available in the commercial marketplace. They will not tarnish. They will not react to the elements around them. The gold that you see here now, as long as it doesn't get any dirt on them, and that's all surface, anything that would be on your fingers like grease or oils, that may be on the surface. But nonetheless, the metal itself does not react at all. With that being said, let's add another coin to the pile here. I'm going to stop the spinner, and we're going to bring this out. This is an unboxing from APMEX, and yes, you may have guessed there is a theme here as we unbox this. And let's see what's inside. Cut into this. And we have a package within a package here. And we're going to open this up. And here we go. All right. It is a 1 ounce Dragon. You guessed it, from the year 2000. Series 1 Lunar Series. And very pleased to add this to the stack. This is a coin that I've actually been wanting for quite a number of years. Just always has been out of my reach. And finding an example at all, anywhere, has been very difficult. One thing I will say about APMEX is they have probably the best selection of precious metal items out there. You will pay a premium for them. But they typically do have some things that if you're looking for certain years or certain designs, and then that's one place that is good to go. I'm not being paid to say that, by the way, either. But you have to be careful. Sometimes some of the backdated stuff can have some issues, and I think that's on the capsule. It is on the capsule. I'm feeling it. There's a little bit of a scratch there, but it's by the eye, so I'm going to take the case out, though, just to make sure. Yep, it's on the capsule. So the coin itself is good. It's just the capsule is kind of screwed up. But this is 23 years old. This coin is. But there it is. And now the reason why I got this coin, and so special, is I remember attending, it was either my first coin show or one of the first coin shows that I went to. And I saw this coin in silver, and I thought it was beautiful. I do have this coin in silver, and actually I don't think it showed up in my full stack video, but nonetheless, this coin in silver was remarkably beautiful. That reverse proof, Perth mint, nice quality, and I thought, boy, it would be nice to have it in gold. And it was available at APMEX's site, and I decided to go check it out and to make the purchase for it. So there it is. And boy, that capsule was on there very loose. I might have to ask them to send me another capsule. But nonetheless, yes, it is beautifully done. Very nice coin, and one that I have been wanting for quite a while. So we add this to the stack, and it just goes to show you the good fortune of the Dragon. Even sometimes as a collector, you will pay a little bit higher premium for some of these things, and this is one of those where that one was a little bit higher of a premium, but I did catch it as the price went down a bit, and so it was fortunate there, but still probably would have saved another $50 if I bought it at the low. But nonetheless, that's where it is. That's the angle of what Americans are now saying about gold, and gold is certainly a stable store of wealth, and most Americans realize that more and more now, especially as we run into hard economic times. Now, the one other thing I will say about that survey is, you would think that Americans would have a consistent view of gold, no matter what time, what kind of times we were living in. But that's not the case. People tend to forget. It does not take long for people's minds to kind of leave the safety of what really matters out there in terms of stable store of wealth. We take for granted a lot of things here in the West in general, and America specifically, and even for our view of the Dragon. The Dragon is seen as something evil and nefarious, whereas in the East it is seen as a symbol of fortune and prosperity. And so there it is. It's amazing the difference between cultures. But gold itself transcends cultures. And so therefore, I think having that view of gold, I think is a healthy thing. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Hope you found this video insightful, informative, and educational. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate share this video, comment, and subscribe.